she is calling for violence. This woman like literally wants there to be a civil war. That's what she's agitating for. This woman is agitating for a civil war. We've talked about Marjorie Taylor Greene before a bit on this show, various anti-trans comments that she's made, and this one feels like a little bit more so than previous ones. Like, yeah, she did say like, oh, these trans terrorists. Like, that's when she was talking about white supremacist terrorism. She was like, these trans terrorists, that's what we actually need to be worried about. Actually, maybe I should pull that up first. Okay, yeah, so just a refresher, if you haven't seen this already or been here previously when we talked about this on stream, Marjorie Taylor Greene has already taken shots at the trans community previously. And I want to take a quick look at that. So here we go. Marjorie Taylor Greene is the House of Representative for the 14th District in Georgia.
Guys, well, you know how you hear Jerry Nadler and the Democrats and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and AOC and all these people telling you that the most dangerous terrorists or domestic terrorists in America are white supremacists, obviously. But here's what you need to know. I think some of the most dangerous people in America are trans terrorists. Guys, well, you know,
I don't know what she says next because that's the extent of the clip that I've seen. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't really care what she says next. If she says something that softens the statement next, like, I don't care. Everything that a person says after the word but is horse shit. So that's, to be clear, we've already been ramping up. Things have already been accelerating a bit. Marjorie Taylor Greene represents one of the most radical voices in our government on most matters, and particularly on this transgender thing. And I find it extremely concerning. And I found some additional remarks from her from last week after Roe v. Wade, June 25. So yeah, that would have been Saturday. Are you prepared? Are you prepared? This first tweet, the egregious thing happens in the first tweet. We'll read the whole thread, but the first thing in the tweet is bad news bears, okay? Passing red flag laws, which what a red flag law is like someone has a domestic issue and then there's a red flag if they go to purchase a firearm, then like they might have additional barriers to possessing a firearm because of the concept that they could do something that would then not necessarily be a crime, but like put you on a list of like people who potentially should be screened or given like less of an opportunity to receive a gun, essentially. So passing red flag laws was not a solution by Democrats to stop mass shootings. It will be a tool to disarm any gun owner that wants to stop abortion, any gun owner that wants to stop the trans agenda on kids, any gun owner that wants to stop mass illegal migration, any gun owner that wants to stop big government oppression suffocating our families, faith, and freedoms. So basically all of the fucked up shit is contained within the first tweet. I'll continue reading the rest of it in a moment, but let's just be clear. Like I reiterated this in a particular way so that you would understand what each step of this was her saying. She's saying if we pass red flag laws, then it would prevent Christian extremism, Christian terrorism. Like, she is supporting a gun owner that wants to stop anything, literally fill in the blank, anything. She's saying, I want individuals to have the power to quote unquote stop these other issues that I disagree with. I disagree with abortion. I think gun owners should be able to stop abortion, which means that this is a person who is completely okay with the frequent arsons and attempted bombings and shootings of Planned Parenthoods and doctors who provide abortion. The trans agenda on kids. The like fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene also posts about like, oh, this drag queen is gonna go talk to kids and shows like the most unchild friendly version of their outfit as though they wear that outfit at kid friendly events, even though they totally don't, like making gay people seem like a threat, making trans people seem like a threat, and then saying the trans agenda on kids, stop that with your gun, is what Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying. Republican senators failed their voters and helped Democrats create a very dangerous bill, making it now possible to red flag Americans when their political enemies feel a gun owner is a, quote, threat to themselves or others. Shit. After Roe was overturned and the return to anarchy and demand for baby-killing riots... Oh, what? Is there any doubt in anyone's mind that the evil, immoral left will stop at nothing until they have completely gutted our country of all righteousness and totally annihilate law and order? You people are in power. What fucking insane victim bullshit is this? Like, what Darvo shit is this? What are you talking about? Okay. If you think they won't use red flag laws to disarm conservative Americans, you are a fool. They will go after a selected few and red flag them. I haven't even looked into what this law is that she's referencing. They will tell you they are right-wing, quote, domestic terrorists. The threat against trans people, abortion clinics, or maybe election authorities or school boards allowing drag queen school shows. And the fact that these right-wing, quote, domestic terrorists are wait, what? Whoa. Walk it back a little bit. That sentence was a run-on sentence, first of all, which made it kind of hard to understand. Oh my God, maybe election authorities or school boards. Oh my God, hold on. Give me a second. Just gotta like reset my brain for a moment here. Get off of there. The threat against trans people, abortion clinics, or maybe election authorities or school boards allowing drag queen school shows, and the fact that these right-wing, quote, domestic terrorists are gun owners with a, quote, large amount of, quote, of dangerous, quote, weapons of war will be all they need to make the accusations and red flag them. Yes, correct. That is the correct thing to happen, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. When people are saying, like, trans people, abortion clinics, and certain election authorities or school boards are, like, potential like dangers, and you're like, yes, those people are the people who should be equipped with weapons. Like, no, those people are the people who absolutely are just gonna go out and kill people. Like, as though we haven't already seen groups of organized men trying to show up at Pride and start some shit. You know, come in to say hello to the queers and start some shit. Then they will be persecuted in the public square by the media, where the media will undoubtedly they will be exposed as Trump supporters, and you will know everything about their lives, like how many pocket constitutions they have stashed in their house. What? All with a purpose. What the fuck victim shit is this? To send all of you a message to keep your mouth shut and back down, or you will suffer the same persecution as these others. Except the trans strippers dressed in drag grooming your kids. Again, like the most reductive, inflammatory language possible. Baby murder as birth control. Again, and all of the assaults on your freedoms and way of life. Yeah, okay, wait, just like let people insert the blanks. Like let people just decide what assaults on your freedoms are implied. And if you don't like it, well, then you will end up like these others, disarmed and publicly shamed. All thanks to red flag laws that we warned would violate people's due process rights and cause terrible violations of Americans' to Second Amendment rights. The Second Amendment right to a well-organized militia, not to your personal fucking gun hobby. Oh my God, go jerk off and get it out of your system. Don't you get it yet? Violence and riots are justified for the left, but they're insurrection for the right. Okay, absolutely, there definitely hasn't been brutal police suppression of nonviolent protests from the left. Sure, you fucking psycho. Antifa is not real, but AOC can call them out when she chants take to the streets. What are you talking about? There is a two-tier justice system that only prosecutes the right. Oh my God, this woman is delusional. Every single elected Republican must wake up and face this frightening reality and make a decision. Are you capable of taking a hard stand with not just your words, but also your actions? She is calling for violence. If not, then you will continue to enable the left to ultimately win. Yeah, no, this woman like literally wants there to be a civil war. That's what she's agitating for. This woman is agitating for a civil war. Like, let there be no question. She started this thing by saying the Democrats are trying to disarm gun owners that want to use their guns to stop abortion, trans people, mass immigration from illegals, quote unquote, and quote, big government oppression. Like, violence and riots in the streets is not the same as violence and riots at the Capitol building. Yeah, like having a plan to attack certain representatives of the United States government is not the same as like protesting in the street and getting into a scrap with a fascist or a police officer or whatever, you know, like it's definitely an abuse tactic. The like reversing victim and offender. We talked about this when we went over the like 10 stages to genocide, where absolutely like part of the idea, like part of the justification of fascism is to say that the enemy is both strong and weak at the same time. They are both like they're so terrible and stupid and weak and bad, but also they're going to undermine our fucking government. Like they represent such an incredible threat that we have to do everything in our power to stop them. And the reality of the situation is usually that the group has extremely like little power, like just very little power. It's like in the case of trans people, for example, you know, we do not have power. Yeah, Gay in Place says, hey, reminder, if you're trans, to get armed and get trained if at all, like if you can possibly afford it. I am going to be looking into self-defense training. I'm not going to necessarily learn how to wield a weapon. I think it's more useful for me to learn how to disarm someone and defend myself in that way. So I'm going to be looking into it. That's part of why I'm exercising on a regular basis, trying to make myself like physically capable and strong, you know, making sure that I'm getting enough food and water and rest. All those things are very important because people like this woman represent a threat to my life. If you're queer, like if you're trans especially, she represents a threat to your life. If you are a brown person who could be perceived as Mexican, when she says to disarm any gun owner that wants to stop mass illegal migration, if you are brown and you speak Spanish, she wants people to be able to shoot you under the assumption that you're an illegal immigrant, you know? Like, this is a thing that affects multiple different groups. Like, this shit is horrendous, and it's only going to get worse. Like, war has been declared on the people. This is an explicit call for stochastic terrorism. Stochastic terrorism is when someone does this. They say, oh, people with guns should stand up for their rights. And then indicate that, like, certain groups are the ones who are threatening their rights, so that then the little minions will go out. The little minions will go out, and they will take their stupid little fucking guns and their stupid little fucking body armor and their stupid little, you know, 2-inch penises and little teeny tiny 1 centimeter diameter balls, and they will kill people almost indiscriminately. And we just have to like deal with that because we live in a country where gun control doesn't exist. What do you do except get the fuck out? Like, what do you do except get the fuck out? I don't know what else to do. I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Thank you so much to my patrons for making it possible for this to be my actual job in the world. Especially want to shout out Tiago Nascimento, Mersh Rolvog, Jovian F. Gaudreau, Bean, Heather Clarkson, Amanda B., Sarah A., R. Halverson, Wellington Marcus, Athiette, Michelle Winter, Suzanne Maynard, Frozen Summers, Nova, Mr. Atheist, and Elizabeth Bartell.